So today I'm going to be doing a very just very neutral, very simple eye look, and I'm going to be showing you where every eyeshadow goes and what are the names of each part of the eyes. I do have some Spanish viewers or people who speak Spanish, so I am going to put like the English, like every time I point to something or I mention something. What the heck? What was I saying? Oh yeah, every time I mention something I'll just put it in English and in Spanish, and I'm sorry for any other languages, but those are the two that I speak, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So yeah, so we're gonna do just a little like neutral, and I'm gonna show you guys where everything goes. So and also this is what I do and how I do my makeup. It might not be like completely professional or how the professionals do it, but this is how I do it, and I think it's pretty easy, so I'm going to show you guys. So basically, I'm going to start with, I'm like out of breath. So usually I start with a blending brush. Blending brush is like this. It's just like a fluffy brush. It's just, I don't know, it's not too dense. So it's just, I don't know, it's just really fluffy, and it's kind of like shaped weird. So I usually take a fluffy brush and I dip it usually into colors like this one, like light brown shades, or like peachy shades like this, and then what I do with that is I use those as transition shades. So transition shades are usually you put them on your lid or like in your crease, which is this part right here where the socket is. So basically where your eye creases, or like where it like folds in, so that's your crease. So I usually put these colors on there, and basically I just blend them in there and blend them upwards a little bit into this bone that's right here. That's going to be your brow bone. And basically what these are going to do is these are going to help blend the other shades. These are not necessarily going to show up on your eye look, but they're just going to help your other eyeshadows blend easier and go from one color to the other just very smoothly. And I put it out in the outer corner, so this would be your outer corner. So basically from here to the end of your brow here is your outer corner, and then this little part right here would be your outer V, but I'll show you that later. And then I just like to like blend it out so that it just kind of like fades out into nothing, and that is how that looks. Then I usually take a more dense brush, or like a brush like, where's my brushes? Or a brush like this one. This one's I use it to blend the eyeshadow too, but this one's more flat, kind of like a like just like a regular eyeshadow, but this one's really fluffy. And what I do is I take a darker color, and that's what's gonna start defining our crease. So that's what's gonna start separating like our lid, which is this whole part here, from the top of our like eye space. So I'm gonna take a darker color, and I'm just gonna put it in the crease. So the crease is, how I said before, that area where like you can define your socket, like right there. And then I just like to put this in there. And then I like to take that blending brush that I was using before and just mesh those colors together and just blend it out. Just like that. And then if you want some more, you can always go back and apply it. Then I like to take a little flat brush. This one's more dense, it doesn't move a lot. And I like to take a dark color, or that same one that we were using, and apply it directly to the, like right in the crease, just to make it more precise and define it a little bit better. And this I like to do it just in the outer V, so like just right there. and then here. And as you can see, you can like create literally like a V shape in your eye, and that'll give you like a more cat eye. And with practice you'll do this a lot faster, but I'm just trying to show you what I do. And then again you go back in and blend it out. And I'm not putting any more color or eyeshadow on this brush, just using whatever's left and whatever's on my eye already, just so that it doesn't become like super dark and intense. So that's that. And then for the lid is pretty self-explanatory. It's just your eyelid, like right here. And there usually go like the shimmery shades or the light colors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my brushes. Oh, staring right at me. Okay, so just a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna take, usually you can take any light color for like a neutral eye, like a white like this, or a shimmery shade like this peach one here, any color really, or a dark color if you want, if that's the look you're going for. But I'm gonna use a light color. So I'm gonna go into this palette, which is a very neutral palette, and I'm gonna use these two up here and this one. So I'm just gonna kind of mix them, and then I'm just gonna apply them to the eye. Just like that. And then again, take your blending brush and blend out the edges. So what we've covered so far is your transition shade and where it goes, your crease area, which is your bend right here, the outer V, which is this corner here, your lid, and then we're gonna go now into the inner corner. So the inner corner is like this area here, and usually what I do in that area is I use a highlight shade just to brighten up the eye, to make it pop. So for that I usually use a shimmery shade or like a highlight from like a regular highlighter. So today I'm gonna use the Champagne Pop with the Jaclyn Hill Becca highlighter or whatever. And then I like to take a brush. Oh, I just had it. I'm gonna take this one. So just any brush really, and then just dip into that. And then I like to go like this and just pop that right in there. And then I always like to blend it into my eyeshadow, just so it looks a lot smoother. And then following with the highlight, I like to highlight my brow bone, so like underneath of my eyebrow. That's usually gonna make it look like, define the arch, and you know, give your eye that like that really nice look, I guess. So for that, you can use the same color that I used for the inner corner, but I like to use a matte shade so it's not so glittery. And I've really been loving this one shadow from Coastal Scents. It's called, I'll put it somewhere in this video because I can't pronounce that, but is this really like neutral, like beige shade. And then you just literally want to put it under your brow bone. And then you kind of want to blend it downwards. And then you take your blending brush and you blend that together. So it just just like that. And then what I also like to do is do my lower lash line, because it kind of looks a little bit, I don't know, like naked without the bottom part. So what I do is I take the colors that I used for my transition shade and my crease, and I just put them under, like as close as I can get it to the lash line, and then I just blend them together. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I like to use a brush like this. This one's dirty, but just a flat brush. And I got this one for $1, so you can find these brushes at like a dollar store. You don't really have to go out and spend 50 bucks on a brush. This one works really well. And then you just want to get it as close to the lash line as possible. And then just grab the other color. Up there. And then what I do is I take a pencil brush. So pencil brush. Where are my pencil brushes? I'm trying to know where anything is. Are you kidding? Okay, so pencil brush is kind of like this, like those pointed ones. I have a thinner one, but I'm not sure where I put it, but it's kind of like this, like these type of brushes. And so what I like to do is I like to take the lighter shade, so the shade that I used for my transition shade, and I just like to like blend it with those dark colors, just so that it like to smoke it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye, and I'll be right back. This is the final look. I think it's really pretty and just neutral, and if you really practice it, it's really easy to just get it in like 10-15 minutes. You're out the door. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be coming out with more videos. I'm starting to write down my ideas because I have a lot of ideas, but I don't write them down and then I forget them and then I don't do anything. So I'm trying to get organized and try to find some time to film. Please subscribe, share, like these videos, and we love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!